Take it away, fellas.
All right, we're live. Welcome, everyone, to the first in-person episode of the WWS Sports Cast. Couple technical difficulties getting it going here, but hey, we're roughing it out here. I'm here with, as usual, co-host Ryan Frank and moderator Mr. Brennan. Ryan, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Episode 12, finally got a new setting in person. And I'm excited. This should be a new atmosphere. We got some great guests coming on. You see already we got the wrestlers, but we just made a quick decision on the fly. Got Mia McCoyd running the fashion show. She's going to give you guys some info on that coming up this Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, answering the famous question, where are the jackets?
Where are the jackets, yeah.
Mr. Brennan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. I'm blessed to be here in person. I invited these two young men into my home. For many hours of the day, I consider this my home. Just to kind of give people a little behind the scenes here, we're all kind of huddled around a microphone just because we're in the infancy here of our podcast. But while it is a little embarrassing, I think we'll all remember it for the better come the future. We'll always remember our very, very humble beginnings here at room T206, Wheaton Warrenville South.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. I agree. But with that, I will send the text message to Mia McCoyd, our fashion show, our fashionista. And yeah, Ryan, you and me are taking place.
Male participants in the fashion show. I went to it last year. It was like one of the last events at South that actually happened for COVID shut everything down. And I went to it, yeah. I remember thinking, man, this would be fun to participate in next year.
And here she is.
Hello, Mia. How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. Just figuring out this in-person episode of the podcast. But yeah, so yeah, we called you, or I texted you last minute here because we needed a second thing to talk about. And I remembered someone suggested the fashion show. So just explain your role in that. What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm in Doyle's fashion merchandising class, and so I'm the assistant director along with Allison Maher, Katie Cronky, and Juliana Gonzalez. And basically we've been planning this fashion show for 3-ish weeks, and we have 3 different segments. We have special segment, formal wear, and casual wear. And so yeah, we've just been planning it these past few weeks.
Yeah. So what does the actual class consist of when you're not playing the fashion show?
So we actually kind of didn't know if we were going to be able to have a fashion show this year. So we basically worked on a lot of different styles of clothing we had to learn about, different types of clothes. We learned about different trends. It was just a lot of projects on different types of clothes.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Interesting. I don't know if I could take that class about clothes. I'm not very savvy and all that.
Me neither.
So all these forms we had to fill out. Who was the most annoying to get to do their form? Because I know Max Wilson at lunch every day was making jokes about it. So how long did that take? Is everyone even done?
For sure, Max Wilson. We had to beg him to do it a lot. But yeah, it's hard to communicate online with everyone and texting everyone to get their stuff done. Max for sure was the most difficult, but he eventually got it done. So
what kind of preparation have you guys been doing to plan this thing? I know you have to talk to all the tuxedo vendors and the dress shops and just what do you guys have to do to put this thing together?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff we have to do. So for the vendors, for the merchants, we have 3 tuxedo places, 1 prom dress boutique, 5 casual wear merchants that we all had to communicate with, set up times with, set up everything with. And then we also have vendors, which are vendor tables, and they're going to be selling their stuff outside of our show. And we also have raffles, so we had to contact the raffle people. We have to set up hair and makeup appointments. We had to talk to Stell to work out the logistics of setting up everything and actually having a show. I'm definitely forgetting a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's a lot more planning than I thought going into it, but it's been fun.
No, yeah, definitely. That's a lot of stuff you guys gotta do. Is this gonna take place outside or inside?
So we're doing it in the auditorium at South. And because of COVID, we have like a limited capacity, but we are doing it in the auditorium this year.
Okay.
And now I gotta ask, because you seem to be the one that calls all the places and gets the details on where the stuff is at. But like, what's the deal with this store not having jackets? How'd that happen?
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's kind of like a bunch of us that call. There's different committees, but I've kind of been leading the boys side of it. So basically, I think it's formerly Modern Tuxedo, or it's one of our tuxedo places, called Doyle, and said that they don't have any jackets because everyone's prom got moved till later. So like everyone's getting jackets at the same time. So they don't have enough like merchandise to hand out for us, and they're obviously going to prioritize paying customers over them just like lending us stuff. So they were like, we're so sorry, like we'll give you everything else but the jackets. So now we have to find new jackets, but it was funny. Doyle FaceTimes us and she's like, we have our first emergency.
So is it going pretty emergency free so far?
I mean, there's definitely it's been really hard to like find people to help us out with COVID, and especially like a lot of the places we use are small businesses. So there's not been particularly any emergencies, just like it's definitely been more difficult this year trying to get in contact with people.
Gotcha. So if students want to go to the fashion show, would they be able to? And if so, how would they do that?
Yeah, so basically, like we posted on Classroom saying that boys do only get 1 ticket, but girls get 4 tickets. So everyone has to sell their tickets. So if you want a ticket, you can talk to someone who's in the show and get a ticket from them.
Gotcha.
Another thing about Max Wilson that right now that Ryan brought up the tickets, he was upset and I was kind of upset. What's the deal with boys only getting 1 ticket, Mia?
Yeah, I know. That was a tough decision. The reason we decided that was because we were deciding between girls getting 3 tickets and boys getting 2 tickets. But we ultimately decided that girls should get 4 because just like the walking logistics, we walk out like 4 or 5 times and you guys do walk out once. But there is an option for boys to get more tickets if they want. They can talk to a girl who has 4 tickets. And I know like a lot of girls in class are not using all 4 of their tickets, so there is ways to get more tickets.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, cool.
So, if I'm not mistaken, fashion show is this Sunday at 6 o'clock?
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Viewers be there.
We are very excited for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys here.
I guess, Mr. Brennan, any revelations about the fashion show? Any questions?
No, I just gotta say, thanks for hopping on such short notice, Mia. I know you got a lot of media obligations with the show coming up this Sunday. And then also, I just want to give a shout out to the entire fine and professional arts department headed by Mrs. Doyle. Also, a lot of help from Mrs. Marconi. So, what was that? Maybe one question for you, Mia. What is it like working with some veterans like Mrs. Marconi, like Mrs. Doyle, fearless leaders? I'm very blessed to be a part of their department.
Yeah, it's super fun. I mean, a lot of us that take the class had Doyle freshman year for basketball. So it's just fun to kind of have her be with her all again senior year. She's done this so many times, so she's got it down. And Doyle is just an amazing person to work with, and same with the rest of the FPA department. So it's been super fun to get to see her every day.
All right, well, thank you, Mia, for coming on.
Seriously, such short notice.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Good luck this Sunday. Peace out.
Thank you.
I got to run and turn the lights on. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, they're getting a full behind the scenes experience here.
Yeah.
Just had to think on my feet.
That reminded me, I don't know if DJ remember this, but in Parks and Rec where Ron he has his hernia. This is like season 1 or 2, but Ron has his hernia, so he's just sitting in his chair all night, He's just sitting there, and the lights go off. He just goes, motion sensors. That's what that reminded me of.
Did you know Offerman is an Illini grad?
Yeah. I think you told me that.
Big timer.
Once, twice,
Big
but-
timer.
Look at that.
I know all the key alumni.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so there's all the details about the fashion show, the nitty gritty. And now we should text the wrestlers because they've been waiting for a while to get in here.
Now for something completely different, going from fashion
You know,
to
if you really look
wrestling.
at it from every angle, they're the same.
I'm excited to have one of these guys on. Mr. Greg Nuter. I've had the fortune of teaching Greg back-to-back semesters here his senior year. A little quiet in class, so I'm gonna see
Really?
how.
Oh, that's interesting.
Rather interesting.
He's a humble leader as a senior in my classes where there's a lot of underclassmen in there. So I'm actually kind of curious to see a different side of Greg here.
All right, so Greg, Aidan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So guys, how's the season going so far? We'll just start with that.
Aiden, you want to take this?
Yeah, it's going pretty good actually. We're 4-2. Started off the year already. Last Saturday was a little rough. We went 0-2, but before that we were 4-0, so it was good.
Nice. Another question just to get us started. Greg, you can answer this first, but what are both of what weight classes are you guys wrestling at?
I'm wrestling at 195 this year. Last year I was actually 182, but that was a little bit hard to maintain for me.
And then I'm at 138. I was at 126 last year.
Yeah. So, your guys' season last year, I know a lot of winter sports, or some of them, got cut short because of COVID. Were you guys able to finish your season, or was your season cut short as well?
Yeah, we finished.
We're still going through the process right now. Like, we've basically just started our season, and it's definitely got cut down. I think we lost a month worth of wrestling time, possibly, and at least half of our matches, basically. So I think at most we could get 17 matches in this season versus normally like
45.
45,
Wow.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Is it true that
But
some of those will be outdoor?
Yeah, next week.
Out on the
What were you
field.
going to say?
What's up?
We got our first awkward pause in the podcast. So no worries.
Aidan, what were you were saying something before I asked about the outdoor meets.
Yeah, last season we did finish our season though. Like
Oh, okay.
it ended like 2 weeks before all the COVID happened. So
Okay.
All the COVID.
yeah.
So what's it been like? Because you guys normally are a winter sport, and having to not know if you're even having a season, and then now having it start in May or late April. What's that been like, just for you guys, like staying active in the off season stuff?
Yeah, for me, it's given me more opportunity to keep working out and work up to another weight class, because last year compared to this year, that was a pretty big jump, jumping up like 13, 15 pounds. So yeah, it sucks that it got pushed to a later date, but in a way it also helps because we're able to work on ourselves and get stronger in the process.
I agree. I feel like as a wrestler, I jumped up so much just from like what I was last year. Just the jump I made was way better.
And how are you guys feeling wrestling at these new weights?
I feel
Stronger.
pretty good. Yeah, a lot stronger, a lot more energy.
Yeah, same here.
So what do you guys do like on your own to get stronger, stay in shape? Like besides lifting and running, obviously. Like, do you actually do like wrestling practice on your own or with somebody, or how does that work?
I go to a club during the off season of practice called Greg Gomez Trained. So I'm there almost like 6 days a week, and plus
wow.
lifting and all that. So I've always been wrestling during all COVID stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do a club, so I've basically stuck to lifting and conditioning on my own, and then also just keeping good nutrition.
There's some lucky members here of the Greg Nuter lifting private story. So
Mhm.
I've been following your gains. But Greg, question for you. How is obviously balancing track and wrestling at the same time?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, but I managed to make it work. The coaches, thankfully, are able to communicate with each other so that I can have 2 practices in a day. Like, for example, on Mondays, I will have wrestling in the morning at 5:45, and I can come home, shower, go to school, and then go to track in the afternoon. And then
Wow.
it's still difficult, though, because we have to make compromises. Sometimes I'll have to miss a wrestling meet in order to go to a track meet and vice versa.
Yeah. How's that for your senior year, having to get up at 5:45 for wrestling and then having the nightcap after school with track?
Yeah, it's not the optimal situation, especially coming down to the last couple weeks of school, but I'm making it work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're a grinder, man. I remember seeing you at picture day, just changing clothes and stuff. But yeah, Aidan, you're a pretty decorated wrestler here. So just talk about like how that feels and like what you've done and how you've become such a beast.
Well, like it's just been so many sacrifices and hard work throughout the years that like it's finally started to pay off the past 2 years. So yeah.
That's awesome.
So when did you guys start wrestling? I guess, Greg, I know you started freshman year, but like, what kind of got you into wrestling as a beginner to start?
It was definitely the coaches from football because they said it would help me with my tackling form, and it's just something they recommended to the whole team, and especially the linemen, which I was at the time. And I took them up on the offer because it kind of sounded interesting, and I ended up loving it. I ditched football, and wrestling's now my main sport.
Oh yeah,
My dad forced me in like 6th grade, and then I hated it the first year, and then I started to love it also.
Yeah, I tried wrestling 6th grade, Aidan, and one of the first practices, Kamal was there, and he tried kicking my legs out because he didn't know what was going on. So yeah, so how is Dano as a head coach?
I think he's awesome. Like he's like one of the guys that will push you. Just like he has that hard work mentality and he wants to succeed as much as any other person and will do anything to help the team and you.
When I think of Jano, I think of his quote, "Pain is just weakness leaving the body."
That's for like a Navy SEAL quote or something, or the Marines.
I don't know, but that's what he says.
Yeah, he might have plagiarized that from David Goggins, I think. Tell him to copyright that or double check that before he gets into trouble, all right?
Yeah, so he's not taking any more naps during practice, Greg, like he did that one football practice?
Yeah, no. Can't really do that with wrestling.
All right, so Aidan, well, the elephant in the room, you're going to Ohio to play or wrestle at the collegiate level. Just talk about like the recruitment process and how you decide on Ohio, and also what it was like with COVID getting college offers.
So my recruitment process was kind of weird, actually. Like, I'd say Illinois is one of the hardest states in wrestling in like the country, and so I qualified for state last year, and I thought I'd use that as like my big turning point. And I only had like offers from D2 and D3 schools, and then I was reaching out to coaches, and then Sparty Chino, an alumni at Wheaton Warrenville South, went to Ohio and he wrestled there. I decided to reach out to him, and he put in a good word for me. And then just like the consistency of reaching out to Coach Greenlee, the Ohio wrestling coach, he finally reached out to me, and it went from there. And I loved the school, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Greg, do you have any plans at the collegiate level for wrestling or any athletic?
Yeah, so I'm going to the University of Alabama, and they don't have a wrestling team down there. The South doesn't have a lot of wrestling. So they do have a club that's run by other college students. So I might take that opportunity to just keep myself in shape.
Nice. That sounds fun. And Aiden, I have a special request question from you. Grace Demars came up to me at lunch, and when I said I was having you on, she wanted me to ask you how it felt to win the senior superlative for shortest person.
Oh, it felt awesome, actually. Like, I knew I was in the running, and I kind of wanted to win it. So I don't think I am the shortest, though, in the grade, but.
Well, congrats either way. Huge honor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to go back to actual wrestling for a bit here. Aiden, what was the state experience like last year? Like, where was that at, and just what was it like?
It's in Champaign, U of I, in their basketball arena. It was awesome. Like, just like, I've been a state alternate the past 2 years, so I've gotten to go down, and I just didn't get to wrestle, and then I qualified last year, and it was awesome just being down there on the floor, and then getting to wrestle a few matches there was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, well, Mr. Brennan, any questions?
Yeah, sure. Well, one especially for Greg here. So, Greg, I know we've been talking a little bit in class the last couple of weeks. I know you're a big podcast consumer in your free time, whether you're doing homework or training. What's it like being on your first career podcast? Or let me ask you first, is this your first career podcast appearance? And what's the experience been like so far for you?
I believe this is my first podcast I've ever been on. And I got to say, it's not as intense as I thought it would be. It's pretty laid back with you guys. So I like it.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, it's just DJ and Ryan and Mr. Brennan asking you some amigos some questions.
Cool. Now, this is for both of you guys, Aiden and Greg. So if you could compare yourself to like a professional mixed martial artist or professional wrestler, what would you say like you base your style off of, whether that's trash talk, the physical components of the game? Who is your carbon copy at the professional level?
Go for it, Greg.
I definitely don't compare on the skill level to anyone, I would say, but maybe I'll say Bo Nickel. He's just very quiet, doesn't talk, straight face the whole time, and he just gets the job done.
I like to base my style off. There's this guy named Jordan Oliver. He's on like the U.S. World Team. He's just like this fast, quick guy that's quiet also. He does his own thing, so.
Humble champions, silent warriors.
Yeah. Yes.
I had to do a quick Google search of those two guys. Those are names I hadn't heard of, but yeah, I bet they're beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're anything like these guys, they're beasts. But yeah, are we all good?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you guys on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us,
Good luck the rest of the
guys.
season.
Thanks,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Good luck,
Thank
guys.
you. We'll see ya.
All right.
Some nice young men there, huh?
Oh yeah, great guys.
Yeah, interesting that Aiden was up for shortest guy in the grade superlative. Reason being, like, you know, sometimes you want to pick on those little guys, but that would be the wrong guy to pick on, right?
Absolutely.
That'd be the wrong guy to pick on, a Division I wrestler. So yeah, anybody has any ideas about picking on a short little guy, double check yourself.
Yeah. Is that we did sports? We did it.
Yeah, I think that's every sport. I know we never got cheerleading and dance on.
Do you want to run this time for the lights, Ryan?
He's plugged in. You're wireless.
Oh, all right.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, so as DJ was saying, I think we've done most sports here. I think it'd be a little too late to do dance and cheer anyway. But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to all you guys from all your different sports, And we'll have probably 3 episodes left, 2 or 3.
2 or 3. I think it's 2, unless we want to do one after the 25th when we're done.
Yeah, well, we can obviously, Mr. Brennan, I don't know your schedule, but we could probably do an episode or 2 after me and DJ graduate.
As many Wednesdays as you guys give me.
Just to wrap things up.
Big shout out to the Bass Fishing Team, right?
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Go
Bass
for it.
Fishing Team on their way to state. One sectionals,
Wow.
so no seniors for them, so no real guests to have on. But, yeah, definitely a shout out because that is a club here. And so, yeah, that's huge. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
I never knew, I associate we in Warrenville South with football. Never knew I was, and speech.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I was on campus here, I saw the Tiger Trail with all the state championships. And so I see, performance in the rounds, speech team, football. And never did I know that I was walking into a Bass Fishing Team powerhouse.
I didn't know that either, honestly.
Yeah.
Pleasant surprise. Pleasantly surprised.
So I have their coach in my poetry, my teacher for the poetry class, Dr. Lawrence. Hello, if you're watching. But he just said all he does is sit and eats Oreos, and the kids just start reeling in fish.
Do you know his mechanism for eating Oreos? Does he eat the entire cookie, or is it a twist and eat the frosting? Or
No, I'll definitely have to talk to him about that, figure out his technique.
All right.
But yeah, he said he drives the boat, sets the anchor, and relaxes and lets the kids fish. So
That's a good gig.
yeah.
I'm gonna write down that.
it must be where he's hit with his where he's overcome with all his poetry inspiration as well. Looking at
The old man of the sea.
exactly, a little Ernest Hemingway moment for Dr. Lawrence.
But yeah, Wheaton South obviously really take pride in their sports. So, I mean, being the first hosts ever of this podcast, hopefully it continues for many years, but it's been really cool, and hopefully we started a tradition here.
It has been, yeah. And, so we want to me and DJ have been talking about some of you guys that have already been on. If you want to come on again and do a little end of the year
Trivia, whatever we want to
ceremony,
do.
yeah. Or if you haven't been on yet and want to get on, just to get on, let us know and
Yeah, we'll make
see
it
what we
work.
can do.
There's these 2 guys that keep just bugging me. I don't know. They're never Charlie Sanders and Matt Lipka. Yeah, guys, get off our ears. We'll get you on.
All right. Well, we will see you guys at Tiger Palooza
Yeah.
this Saturday. Should be a blast.
I mean, some of us are going with the boys. Others have dates to go with. But either way, have fun. There will be gambling at post-prom. Don't lose all your money.
All right. Be smart, guys.
Yeah. Party safe.
And take care.
And have a great Wednesday.